Hello. We are live, and my camera is misbehaving. Give me a second to fix that. While I'm fixing that, hi, I'm Amanda Call. This is my channel here on the YouTube. All right, Logitech. What are we doing? And this is a page from my comic, Age of Night, which is slightly blurry right now because my camera is being foolish. This is chapter 28, page 17. We've worked on this for 3 streams already. We're going to proceed with this one this evening. All right, I have autofocus. Did you just remember now that autofocus is not supposed to be on? Yeah, remembered now. Okay. Now it's behaving. Good job. Okay, so over the course of the last 3 streams, we've gotten this completely penciled. I had finished just a tiny bit after the stream, but now it is all penciled, and it is time for us to start lettering. Hey, someone saying, thanks so much for joining me. So, I have my script off to the side here. I have a mechanical pencil, an Ames lettering guide, and a triangle. And so we are going to start laying down our guidelines. Line up our right triangle all the way over to the side so that this bottom row of dots, this is the one that we are using, the bottom row of dots is in the area where I have marked out for my first couple of word balloons, and we're going to make some guidelines. In this bottom row of dots, I'm not using these ones. Boop, boop, boop. I'm starting here. That's a space. And then if you jump down, you follow a little curved line to jump down. This would be if you're doing like upper and lowercase and you want to like divide the line so that you can tell where upper and lowercase are going to be. I don't do that. I just do uppercase. So I just skip that one. And then that's the space. Then that's the line. Hey, Spud. And then when I run out of dots, I just scoot it down, line that, make sure I'm lined up on the side over here. Make sure the first dot is lined up with the last line. Scooch, scooch, scooch. There we go. And then keep going. And that should be enough for that one. So then starting in pencil, because I don't know if it's going to work out, so I always start in pencil so that if I mess it up, I can go back and erase it and kind of figure out how my letters are going to line up before I do it in ink. So I just kind of quickly put those in there. I can fit that last word there. I just need to scooch a little bit, so I'm gonna erase and scooch a little. All right, so we've got penciled in the first couple of word balloons, and now we're gonna move on and keep going. So how is everybody doing this evening? I am kind of tired. I've got a whole bunch of stuff to finish getting ready for Heroes Con this weekend. I'm not ready. Hey, Hungry, thanks so much for joining me. Been sick. Ugh. I'm sorry to hear that. That's no fun. Some kind of bug went through my house and I managed to avoid it with my mom powers. I gotta. This is not gonna fit the way that I have it, so we're gonna scoot it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, everyone in my house got some kind of bug. They all passed it around, like went through it and got it like one at a time. First it was the littlest one, and then it was the older one, and then my husband got it, and everybody got a sore throat, like real, and was just like sick and gross for like a day. And then like they would be like they were just really sick and had a terrible sore throat for about a day, and then they would be all like pretty much fine except still kind of tired and congested for like another day or two afterwards. But that first day was like super rough, and they all got it right in a row, and I somehow managed to avoid it. Every time I was like, "Oh no, it's coming for me next." Thankfully, it did not. Someone saying says there's a thing in the chat box area that I've not seen before. I'm going to click it because I can't resist. Oh, what is it? What is this mysterious new chat bot thing? Chat box thing. Chat bot. Maybe it's a bot. I don't know. Touch colds like Homer Simpson touches donuts. Yeah. Oh, that's not how you spell that word. There we go. Ah! I just broke the tip of my pencil. Whoops. Okay. Click the thing. I don't know what it did. I saw the icons float up a few times. Oh. Oh, are they doing like the like emotes thing like they do on Twitch now? Is YouTube Live doing that? I wasn't watching. I have to actually like look up from what I'm working on to see if anything floats up on the screen. I don't know. Twitch still has way too many. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Twitch still has way too many moving parts for me. My friend Higgins has very kindly offered to help walk me through it, but I'm just like, I am intimidated. This looks like too much. Okay. One more. One more panel. Click the 100, and I saw them floating up in the chat bar. Oh, okay. Cool. I mean, that's kind of a neat feature. Whoops, don't run away, paper. Okay. Hooray! There's all of the letters are penciled on there, so now we can start actually inking them, getting them in place. I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of my way. And get out the next group of things that I need. So we're gonna be using the Royal Talons India ink, my extremely messy, well-loved bottle of ink here. And I've got my school nib, and it's also very messy and well-loved handle. Okay, we're doing the letters here. And as I've mentioned before, when you're lettering, hand lettering, it's not exactly the same as just writing things by hand, as you can see by how much slower I am going than when I was just kind of sketching these letters in. You actually pick up the pen in between like each stroke of the letter. So that's 1, 2, 3 strokes for the letter N. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 strokes for the letter E, and so on. Partially so that you are always getting nice even pressure over a short distance. And also because you always want to be pulling a stroke and not pushing. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. And yeah, I kind of cheat on some letters because I've been doing this like a long time. Like S, I can usually manage to just do it in one stroke. Okay, I have like some little I can see I have some little fiber or something on the end of my pen nib, so I'm going to clean that off cuz it's going to make a mess. So just give it a quick little clean. I'm going to bold that ha. 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 Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I had a very busy week, very busy weekend. I've been trying to finish getting my garden in between all the rain, which is finally mostly let up, which is good. I appreciate that the rain is finally kind of laid off. I had to do like a training for work. I had to do a couple different trainings for work. That was a lot. A bunch of other work stuff going on now too, like in my day job. And I had a birthday party for my littlest niece and nephew. Oh, this is a squeeze. It's not gonna fit. I messed up. I have to add my text digitally. I'd mess up way too many times. I usually can fix this in the pencil stage. I think these letters got a little bit too fat while I was talking. I'll have to fix that line. That's okay. We'll go back and fix it with whiteout in a little while. I'll make a little note here. Fix. Ugh, you goober. Whoop. Anyway, as I was saying, every line. As I was saying before I screwed up, went to a birthday party for my littlest niece and nephew. It was very cute, lots of little kids running around. Unfortunately, my youngest got into some brown tail moth hairs, caterpillar hairs. I don't know if you know about the brown tail moth caterpillars. It's this like nasty invasive species. My sister lives a little ways from here in southern Maine, so we don't really have them up here this far north yet. But she has them down there, and these caterpillars, they have these like nasty little irritant hairs that they shed all over the place, and they'll be like in the grass and you can't see them or anything. And if they get in your skin, they give you this horrible, nasty poison ivy like rash, except it's like really painful. It's not just itchy. It gets all like red and swollen and uncomfortable. Yeah, and she totally forgot. Like, she's been dealing with them for a while. Every time that her husband goes out to mow, he gets covered in the things. And yeah, and she just doesn't like let her kids go out without shoes on. And she didn't think to warn us, and we didn't think of it because we don't have them. And yeah, so my kid went out into like a part of the lawn without shoes on and got the little caterpillar nasty hairs all in his toes. Which I shouldn't laugh. He's quite miserable, but I was just like, what did you do now? Because it didn't bother him like right away. It was like later that night. He's like, my foot hurts. This is the same child who broke his foot previously this year. And so I was like, you better not have broke your foot again. None of us can deal with that. And then I saw it was all like red and gross. And I was like, what did you get into? And I mentioned it to my sister, and she's like, oh, yes, the brown tail moths. I'm like, oh, no. The thing that kills me about it is that it's like, for treatment, there's no like actual treatment for it. There's no medical treatment specifically for relieving this rash. And so the recommendation is, okay, well, for a home remedy, you can just mix up this concoction of a bunch of different over-the-counter stuff to try to relieve the rash. And the concoction is equal parts hydrocortisone cream, topical Benadryl, witch hazel, and menthol cream, like icy hot, right? Which those all are completely different things. And so it's basically like the home remedy is just like throw a bunch of different topical relief stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Maybe one of them will help. Who knows? But you will be very smelly. It seems to be helping. When I put it on him, he says that it helps, so that's good. It still looks nasty even a few days later, so I'm just like, "Ugh, I really hope this clears up soon." Poor child. Just every liquid, every cream, just whatever you've got, just go for it. Oh, hello, bug friend. So many bugs. So many bugs. June in Maine. I was up relatively late last night playing a game on Victory Condition Gaming, and because I had my light on in here, all the little bugs that could make their way in through the screen and any gaps around the door, I had like a million bugs buzzing around me and my light crawling on the ceiling. I'm just like, yes, yes, thank you for that. Thanks for that demonstration. Did I actually get any ink on my pen nib? Come on, let's go. All right. Panel. Almost there with the lettering. All right. Hooray! All the letters are inked. Well, it took us about 30 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm going to clean this out. We'll start putting some word balloons around our letters now. Because, yes, you always write your letters and then make your word balloons. Because if you do it the other way around, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, so for this, I'm going to need ellipse template and French curve and pencil and Tech pen. Oh my goodness, as I jostle the whole paper, whole desk. Little bugs, little bugs. What are you doing? Oh, there he goes. Can you go be somewhere else there, dude? Go on. Go be somewhere else. Shoo. Okay, so I'm going to take this template and kind of see like, okay, obviously this isn't going to work. It's kind of an odd shape, having that last line be a little bit further out. So what we're going to do on this one is I'm going to find a couple of ellipses that will work for an ellipse that works for the ends. And we're just going to go to this little midpoint here because that's the point at which it starts to curve back in. And we don't want that if we're doing just the ends. Kind of sketch in the space in between. This is also like one person continuing to say something in like two little phrases, like there's a pause between them. So we're just gonna have them connected here like such. Boop, 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 boop. So we scoot over. And put a tail going to the character that is saying it. So now that I have kind of figured out where all that is going to be, I can go to my pen, which is hopefully cooperating and functional today. We can start putting in these lines, and I'm going to try real hard not to accidentally drag my pen. I'll drag my template through where I just had my pen and make a mess. So yeah, as for stuff I'm up to right now, I am getting ready for Heroes Con. I'm gonna be at Heroes Con this weekend. This weekend! I'm leaving like the day after tomorrow. Ah! I am not prepared. It's very tricky because I have to fly, and so I can't bring all of the stuff I normally would. Like, I'm having some books shipped ahead to Jeremy's house, and I can only bring so much. Like, I can't bring all of my big like print racks and everything that I would normally bring because that can't bring all that on a plane. It's not gonna work. Uh, so yeah, I had to break out my old homemade collapsible print rack, which I have not used since 2019. So I think that's the last time I flew to a convention where I sold stuff. When I went to GTEx in Houston. Yay! The lettering in one panel is done. Yeah, so I dug that out. It still apparently is, in one piece. So that, well, I mean, it's in lots of pieces, but it's still functional. It's still, when I put it together, it still works, is what I mean, which is good. We still need to fix this, so I'm not going to do this panel right now. So yeah, trying to figure that out, trying to make sure I have all of my stuff ready for that. I am going to be at Heroes Con. I'm going to be at table 518, Artist Alley, table 518. That'll be me, and Jeremy will be with me, and I will have all 3 volumes of Age of Night, and we will have some print copies of the first issue of I Am the First. And I'm gonna have like a bunch of prints and mini comics and some print copies of my TSRPG Temple of the Banished Sun scenario that I put together. It'll be a great time. I'm looking forward to meeting some new people. Because I have not done a convention in the southeastern US in a very, very long time. I think the last time I showed at MegaCon probably like 2012. Like, it has been a minute. So yeah, if anyone is in the area and would like to stop by and find us, that would be great. Heroes Con is pretty affordable as far as a huge all weekend event goes. I was looking at their weekend passes and I was like, dang, that's really not bad at all. So worth considering. There's so many people there. They have a massive list of guests and Artist Alley people, and it's just a lot. And it's all comics. It's not like a lot of other comic conventions that have kind of expanded out into like general pop culture conventions, which is totally cool and everything. But like, if you're going specifically because you want, like, if you're going to a Comic-Con because to you Comic-Con just means like general nerd stuff, then that's totally fine. But if you're going to a comic convention because you're like, I want to read and buy and discover new comics, then you're not really sure what percentage of that you're going to get at a general nerd culture Comic-Con event. Whereas this show is specifically comics. I'm very excited about that. We're gonna go boop and boop. All right. So the other like big thing that's been going on this past week. Hey, have any of you been to ageofnight.com in the last couple of days? So it looks a little different. You should go check it out. So the flip side of that, I'm very pleased with how it is coming out. The flip side is that I am probably not going to get to upload a new page this week because I am still trying to upload the backlog, which takes a heck of a long time because I have a lot of it. But yeah, Jeremy's been helping me revamp my website and it's looking really great. He's done a fantastic job. Like, and when I say he's helping me revamp it, like I basically tell him, "Hey, this is what I want to have happen," and he does his tech wizardry and he makes it happen. And then he shows me like, "Okay, here's how I made it work. Now go upload your 8 million page backlog, ma'am, because I'm not doing it," which fair. I don't expect him to. So I'm in that process right now, trying to get as much of that done as quickly as I can. But of course, also oh God, that was terrifying. I just got interrupted by a fox screaming outside. Never, ever get used to that. It like jumps me the first time I hear it every time. I don't know if my mic picked it up over me talking or not, but it was very loud. It was loud enough that I'm talking, I have music playing in my headphones, and they're like mostly covering my ears, and I still heard it through my open window. It's creepy, very creepy and loud. Okay, let's see if we can fix our mistake up here. We haven't gotten to fix a mistake in a while. You didn't hear it? Okay, good. It's terrifying. I don't know if you've ever heard a fox screaming before, but it's terrifying. I'm going to request some clean water because that's very gross. Hey, can I have some clean water, please? Thank you. Yes, I do usually listen to music while I'm doing this because I have a hard time not if I didn't have some other kind of input going on, then I would totally zone out and forget to ever talk to you guys. I would just silently be sitting here working and zoning out off in my own little world if I didn't have some extra input. I have clean water now. It's hard to tell on camera, but that's clean. That's just the inside of my nasty ink cup. Right now is just like a mix of music that I stole from somebody else. So especially uh back in ye old days before internet was good enough for a lot of streaming, I would very frequently expand my music library by just like ripping other people's music libraries, like from an external hard drive or something, or if we were networked in like a roommate situation or whatever. Um, oh yeah, we need to cover this up first. Where is my gouache? So I need gouache and I'm gonna have my palette. So yeah, I just kind of like go through, obviously consensually. I would ask people and they would be like, yeah, sure, go for it. And I would offer the same service to them. Uh, I would just kind of like grab anything that mildly interested me from their library and I would put it into another folder in my library. And the folder would just be like named after whoever I had gotten it from. And it would be like music from wherever. And usually I gave it some kind of cutesy name. And so this one, I was just like, oh, I haven't listened to this one before. I haven't listened to this one in a while, so I'll put this one on. And this mix was called Songs from the Golden Horde because this was a roommate that had a bunch of orange and yellow cats that were referred to as the Golden Horde. So I thought it was cute. It's it's a bunch of like classic rock and also stuff that was kind of popular in the late aughts. That was the era that this is from. And because every time I've like migrated a computer, I try not to lose my music library. So I still have a lot of this stuff, even though it's been like a million years. But yeah, it was something there was something kind of fun about that. I don't really like I listen to Spotify all the time in my studio and everything while I'm working. I definitely really appreciate that I can listen to basically anything that I can think of at any time because of the internet. But I don't know, there's just something about looking through somebody's uh library and being like, "Oh, I'm going to have this little like selection that reminds me of you or this time in our lives together." And I don't know, a your top songs of whatever year just doesn't quite capture that same vibe for me. But I'm also getting kind of old, so okay. So now we got to let that dry because I put down the white gouache a little, well, it's about like 2 layers. It'll dry nice and opaque and flat. But I gotta let it completely dry before I can ink back over it. Because if it's not completely dry before I try to letter back over top of it, I'm just gonna make a big gunky mess. So we're gonna leave that be for a while. And we're gonna move on. I'll probably finish fixing it next stream because we're running low on time on this one. And I'm gonna clean the excess gouache off my palette so it doesn't turn into glue. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of regular inking while that is doing its thing in this last little stretch here. Where did my, oh, there's my triangle. I'm like, I was just using my triangle. What did I do with it? It's right here. I found it. Okay, so back to a little bit of regular inking for a bit. But we did get the lettering mostly done. It would be done if I hadn't made a silly mistake. All right. Got a bunch of different straight lines. Lots of spears. People walking around with their spears. But yeah, if you get a chance, you should get the revamped website. We're still working on getting stuff up there. Like it's at the point where it's up and it's functional, but it's certainly not done by any means. It's still going to be a while before it's like done. But I'm very pleased with the new design, and the back end is a lot easier and less buggy than it was. Because we ran into an interesting problem. I think I talked about this before on the stream, but we ran into an interesting problem when we were looking at redoing it, where it was like, because so many people have moved to Webtoon, there's not a lot in the way of good like pre-made options for webcomics for like your own site. Because like so many people host their stuff on Webtoon now or similar platforms, and it's just like, okay, but what if I don't want to put my stuff on Webtoon? And then your options are not great because there's like a bunch of stuff that hasn't been updated in a very, very long time. And I was using one of those things that hadn't been updated in a very long time, and it frequently broke and had lots of buggy issues. And there were a few key things about it that there was just no way to deal with that really irritated me. Just like a handful of like, why on earth is it designed this way? This is horrible. Why can't I get it to operate some other way? And the answer was, you just can't. Too bad. So yeah, it's kind of tricky. And we looked around at some other web comics of people, basically of people that had been also running their own web comics, not something hosted on another platform for a really long time. And most of them were either using the same buggy program that I was and also just struggling through it, or they were using like something they had coded themselves in like 2003. And they're still rocking the same basic website since then, which I absolutely have the utmost respect for, but that's really just not the direction I wanted to have to go in. Like, more power to you, but I don't want to like uh code a new website in HTML. Not a thing I want to do. But Jeremy was able to do his wizarding and figure out a way to make it just function. And it looks really nice, and I'm excited to finish getting it up and running, and I hope you all appreciate it as well. So yeah, check it out. Let us know if you like it. Like, leave a comment on some of the social medias. We're in the last 10 or so minutes of the stream, so I may as well plug the social medias now. I'm Amanda Call. This is my YouTube channel. I do these live streams every Tuesday night, well, just about every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, where I work on usually my comics, very frequently Age of Night, which is what I'm working on here now, which is my comic that is my fantasy webcomic, which has been up for a very long time. It normally updates on Wednesdays. I will probably not get a page up this week because I'm working on getting the website back up to speed and also trying to get ready for Heroes Con. But you can check it out at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. And if you like the new design of the site, you should let us know. Send us a little note. message me on some of the or mention me on some of the social medias. I'm on most of them as either Age of Night or Amanda Call Art. Right? Yeah, same. I don't wanna I don't think it lives in my brain anymore, and I don't wanna try. Like and once again, I will remind people that I will be at HeroesCon in Charlotte, North Carolina this coming weekend. It's a 3-day event. Lots of comic artists. Come and say hi if you're in the area and check out the rest of the show. It looks like it's going to be a really good one. I haven't been to this one before, but I've heard lots of good things. So I'm looking forward to it. And I will be selling copies of Age of Night and prints and mini comics. And Jeremy that will be there with me. He is the writer of I Am the First, the other big comic project I've been working on, and will be there representing that as well. So yay. Okay, I think that's going to do it for this evening. I'm going to clean off my tools here real quick before I set down a ink covered French curve and make a mess somewhere. All right, so we have gotten pretty much all the lettering done. The only part of the lettering that's not done is where I made an error and I had to white it out, and we're letting that dry so that we can finish this last panel of lettering next time. I started in on some of the inking, so we will continue that next time as well. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me this evening. I will see you next time. Bye.